Hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Karen's Stamp Pad. My name is Karen Scott, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. So welcome. Hello, Margaret Ann. You beat me to it. My husband was just calling to say he was at Costco and do we need anything and put me on the spot. So anyway, I've added a few things and I'm sure I've forgotten something. But anyway, so today we're going to play around with the Magical Meadows Suite again today. So I've got a couple of cards. One's a bit of a fancy fold, and I've done it before, but I wanted to showcase the beautiful designer series paper, and the other one is just a very simple monochromatic cards. So the cardstock has some grays in it, and so I thought I would use the grays and some of the dyes, and just put together a simple, cute card that you could do in any of the colors actually that are in there. The Pretty Peacock, the Lost Lagoon. Let's see. Anyway, let me just finish talking as I show you the card, and then you'll understand what I'm talking about. So let me switch my camera down. And so this is the card. So I did it in the smoky slate and basic gray, and just added a little bit of the ribbon that comes with this suite, and a sentiment and a few rhinestones, and there we have it. So I'm just going to put together that little card for you, and then a fancy fold. I did this too with what was it? The daisies, cheerful daisies. That was it. So, but I wanted to pull in some of the different sides of the designer series papers. So I'm going to do that one. So stick around, and I'll show you how easy it is. So let me just pull in. I'll do the easy one first, and just pull in the pieces that I've already put together or die cut. And so again, this is Smoky Slate, and it is your regular card base at cut at 5.5 and scored at 4 1/4, and a piece of the basic gray, and it's 4 inches by 5 1/4. Hello, Denise. How are you today? Hello, Kathy. Thank you for joining me. Okay, so basic gray, 5 1/4 by 4. We're just going to put that down. This is, and you can use the like I said, the some of the other papers. There is the Lost Lagoon. I'll show you the back sides because I'm going to use that for the next card anyway. But the there's Pretty Peacock and the Lost Lagoon. So you can use that. There's the grays. There's a dark gray and a light gray. I'm just going to use the light gray. And I guess I could have done this and switched it up and switched colors, since I showed you I showed you the gray one already. Okay, so this is 3 3/4 by 5. Once you cut all the pieces, it's pretty easy to put together, as you can see. So I'm going to bring in my little glue pad, my silicone craft mat, and I'm going to add some glue to the back side of these. And I did bring in some white just to kind of make it pop. So I'm going to use my paper snips and trim the bottoms because they don't need to be quite so long. And so how's everybody doing today? Denise is great. And yes, I've been having a pretty good day today. I had an appointment. I was out, and then I spent quite a bit of time outside with the dogs, throwing the ball for Gracie. It's nonstop. Thanks for sharing, Margaret Ann. All right. And bring in my glue. So I showed you this the other day. I broke down and bought one of these so I can just have a little, well, get the glue running here. Just little dots. And you don't need a lot of this glue. Get it on the thing instead of the pad, and it would help, wouldn't it? A sponge would help. It would make it go faster. Lots of little doodads to... All right. So I'm going to start with my basic gray, and I'm going to put a piece down here. I'm going to put the same piece over top of the smoky slate. Now it's going to take a minute to set the basic gray in this one. Now, you don't need to do so many if you don't want, but I thought it was pretty simple, and I like the way that it turned out. Okay. And so I just have one piece of white just to make it kind of pop. I cut the bottom off of that one. And then we just need a sentiment. So I went with, may this season of sparkle bring joy and delight. So I'll bring in my basic gray and stamp that. And then I'm going to pop it up with my dimensionals. And I need to adhere that. So let me just put my dimensionals on. I'm just going to use 3 little guys. You're over there already with the fur babies. Nice. You can babysit my fur babies anytime you want, Margaret Ann. But I warn you, they jump. They're probably taller than you. Well, maybe Denali would be close. Okay, so I'm going to take this, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my tear and tape adhesive, if I can find the beginning of it, and I'm going to put a piece down just to hold it in place. And I'll take this off just so it doesn't show, if I can. All right, there we have it. And now I'm just going to cover that up with my sentiments. So we'll do the inside of the card, and all I did for that was just took one of the dies, the stamps, and did the inside. So there you have just a quick and easy card showcasing the Gray Designer Series papers. So I'll move that out of the way, and I will bring in this card. So I need to bring in my paper trimmer. And so I went with the pretty peacock. We're going to do exactly the same. I should have switched them up and done the gray, but it didn't. All right, so I have my cardstock, and this one is going to use a full sheet of cardstock. So what we're going to do is we're going to take it on the short side, put it up to the top. Pardon me, and we're going to cut it at 5.5. So you want it 5.5 by 11. Turn it around, and we're going to score it at 1 3/4, 3.5, 5.25, and 7. Okay, so this piece on the end, after you do all of your folding, is going to be just a little bit smaller than 5.5. So it's actually going to be 5.25, or sorry, not 4. It's not going to be 4 inches across. It is just 4 inches, not 4.25. So it's a little bit smaller than your average size card. So boy, that was hard to get out. So sorry. I'm going to confuse myself. So hang on to this piece. We need to take that, and we need to cut down a piece that is, this is 3 inches that's left. So we're going to cut it down to 6 inches. We're going to score it at 3. And that's going to go there. Hang on to this piece. So what I did was I've already done it, but I cut out, because I want some holly leaves. So I cut that out of this. So don't get rid of it. But now let's take our designer series paper. So I want some of this. So I'm going to cut this at 5.25. It's already cut on the 4-inch side. So 5.25. Now we need the pieces, which will be, the inside pieces will be 1 3/4. Or sorry, 1.5. So 2 1.5 strips out of this. Okay, so 2 1.5 by 5.25 pieces. So I'm going to put that on 2 of the panels. Then I want some of this paper, which is the light designer series paper. So let's cut that down. I want a 4-inch strip. Move these out of the way. 5 1/4. So I'm going to do 2 of these, because I'm going to cut a couple of the strips off of one of these pieces. So again, 1.5, and I want 2 of them. And I went with the light because I want to stamp on the back piece. There's the darker that has the more of the pretty peacock in it, and that's my leftover piece from my strips. And I'm going to cut a piece for the for the front, and I want to cut it at 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. You'll also want a piece of white cardstock at 2 3/4 and 2 by 2 3/4 as well for the other side. So I think we've got all our pieces now. We can start building our card. Get that out of the way. All right, so now we're going to fold it and burnish the edges so it lays flat because it's going to be quite thick. So mountain, valley, mountain, and valley. There we go. So we have this accordion fold that we're going to put our card or our designer series paper on. So before I adhere the back, I'm just going to do the front. I want these two pieces on the outside. And that one here. I was trying to do, the reason I did the all gray card was I was trying to come up with a card design using these stamp, the trees stamp that's in the set. But it just didn't work for me. I think it needs to have a peekaboo card. So you open it up and have the trees on the inside, but nothing came to mind. Okay, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to grab my stamp set, pull in one of the dies, sorry. Yeah, the stamps. I need my block. I've got a dirty stamp here, so I need to clean it. Okay. So let's pull in a piece of grid paper so I don't stamp all over my desk. Pretty peacock. It's just to add a little something to the back because I didn't want to stamp a sentiment and have it. You could. So just stamp that off. I'm going to do the same one on here. Just a little bit so it's not so just plain white. All right. So now we'll finish putting this together. And I was going through my stuff today. I have a box of retired. Oh, so this one needs to be cut down. Sorry. I pointed it out in the beginning and then forgot. So this needs to be cut down to 3 3/4. This is how I get glue all over everything, right? Putting glue on and then having it stuck. Okay. So I think that's 3 3/4. And there we have it. That fits. Okay. So what I thought was I need to, let me grab it. I need to get rid of, I have a box full of retired embellishments that I'm willing to give away. I want to mail them out and I will I'll pick one and mail them out to anybody who comments. Not anybody, one person. We'll start with one person. And anybody that comments in my videos, I will do a draw. So I will do it next week. And whoever has said hello and commented, I will draw a name and send out an embellishment. So that could be anywhere in Canada. If you're in the States, I can mail you a card. So Denise, I guess I could mail you a card, couldn't I, if you win? All right, so I'm going to put the dark piece of designer series paper here. My white on the other side. And see, this one isn't so hard either, and it comes together quite easily. Oh, thanks, Sharon. Welcome. Okay, so now, remember, I don't want to put glue all over here. I just want a little bit on this side, a little bit on this side, so I can attach it. And you could, attach it this way if you wanted. I just thought it was easier if I lined up everything right like that. And there, it's in the center. So now I need my sentiment. Put this aside. I'm going to go with just winter wishes on the outside, but where's that piece of cardstock? The other thing I was going to do is just bring in a punch, make it really easy instead of die cutting. You also need a piece of white cardstock, which I do not. Do I have a piece? Ooh, yes. I don't know if it's gonna. There we go. There we go. So stamp on that. I'm going to put winter wishes. And then I could stamp a sentiment here or here if you want to go that far. Okay. So winter wishes, that looks a little crooked. We've got the other side. That's better. And all I did was I offset it on here a little. I've got ink on my fingers. I have another piece of paper. I don't. Okay. I'm going to have to switch it up. But for now, let's just go with this. Put some glue dots on. Everything's just out of reach here. Going to put that there. I'm going to take, so I cut these out of the Pretty Peacock. Yeah, I love this paper too. I'm just trying to come up with ideas to showcase the paper. The stamp set's nice. All right, I'm going to cut off those ends because they're just a little too long for me. And then I cut out, there is a die that cuts out the little berries. So I've gone ahead and I've cut that out of the Moody Mauve to match the designer series paper. Okay. So I'm going to put some dimensionals on this as well. Get the right side here. One, two. And these stick up just a little bit, so I'm going to take my glue and just put a little bit of liquid glue here. Just to hold it down. Put some glue on my mat. And we'll use our take your pick tool to put our berries on. It's going to take a second to dry. Okay. So now I've got ink here. I can put some rhinestones over top, but I think I will go ahead and fix it up after. Put a new a new sentiment on, but anyway, so we've got a few of those, and I don't know, let's go with, now I should have done this before I adhered the back, but do we want, we'll just stamp another sentiment right here. There. So nice and easy, and showcases the beautiful designer series papers. So thank you, Kathy. So there you go. There's our 2 cards for today. And thank you, everybody, for commenting. I will actually, how many people do we have on here that's commented? If you've commented, yeah, give me a shout out, say hi, tell me where you're from. You'll be entered into a draw for some embellishments or a card if you're in the States. So thank you for joining me, and I hope you have a good evening and a good weekend. Tomorrow's Friday, TGIF. So anyway, let me know what you think. And if you do make some of these, thanks, Margaret Ann. If you do make some of these cards, share with me. I will post them, and that would be awesome. So anyway, have a good time this weekend stamping if you're stamping, and I will see you next Tuesday at 4 o'clock for some more cards. So join me then. Until then, have a wonderful weekend, and bye for now.